Hello everyone, this is Moses from Wilona's Cave, and I am debuting a highly requested book or addition to the Solo RPG GME series that I'm doing. First off is the fantasy one that came out, and that is doing rather well, really well actually. So I thank you for everyone's support. It's a gold bestseller. I'll show a little video on the bottom. I printed a test copy, POD, print-on-demand book. I'll show that in the screen right now so you can see that flip through really quick of that book. It came out really well. It's version 1.2. All links will be in the description below in the comment section as well. So regardless, we're talking about sci-fi here. So I'm going to go through it quick. I'm not going to show every page. I'm going to show you the... let me show you the table of contents. Artwork, it has 3 hand-drawn artworks in here. There was a little bit of Photoshop being used for the backgrounds, the space. I'm not going to shade all that in, but we'll get to those in a minute. So here's the table of contents. Everything's hyperlinked. As you can see, my cursor's changing. So the SO Oracle, some of the things are similar or the same as the fantasy. So like the yes and no Oracle. The random event generator has 2 of them now. So there's a ship and a planet. So if you're on a planet and you roll in the yes/no oracle, you go to the planet random event generator. If you're on a ship, you go to the ship. And then I have the alternate version. And the verb and noun has ship and planet as well. So we'll look at that really quick. So here's for the ship, there's a D100. For the verb, the ship, noun, D100. And the planet, etc. like that. Okay, let's go back to table of contents. Let me show you what's different. I'll show you the note I did in the bottom. Note, to maintain the size of this book, I like the book to be tiny. So if you saw in the video with the fantasy version, it's nice and tiny. You can just put it in your notebook or, a folder, or your backpack or whatever. It's nice and small, easy. I don't want to fluff up these books or bloat them. So I removed the tarot card system from the fantasy. So it's not a copy paste of fantasy, this sci-fi version, but you know, there's a lot that's like, if you look at the table of contents of this and the fantasy, a lot of this, it's the same, but the guts of it is different, the contents of it. But the tarot card system, I removed it because I don't think anybody would really use the tarot card system in sci-fi. But if you do, the tarot card system, like you see here, that goes to the link to purchase the Solo RPG GME fantasy book right here. You could use that tarot card system in that fantasy book, my first book, with this. It's kind of a general results of the tarot card system, so it should work for multiple settings or genres. But yeah, so I removed the tarot card system, or excuse me, I replaced it with something I call Galactic News Network, GNN. So let me show you that right now. So I'll show you the artwork really quick. So we'll just go to the artwork sequences. So here's the artwork sequences of my artwork. This and this, the first and second, are a lot of Photoshop. I'm not going to go through and shade the whole background. That takes forever. So this is basically a black square or a black rectangle where I built off of that. And I drew all of this and pasted over, as you can see right here. There's my phone. Right over here. So that's what they started as, and I started shading a little bit, and then the background I overlaid this on top of a black background, and I just put speckled of little stars or the thruster here or exhaust, etc., stuff like that. All right, let's get back to the Galactic News Network. Well, before that, so like there is a secret discovery system, NPC attitude, NPC conversation generator, just like in fantasy, but the contents are modified to fit sci-fi version. So here's the Galactic News Network system. So what I'm doing here now, I'm gonna interject this now before I forget. I am, and you could read the screen as you're listening to me as well. I am not only creating these supplements, I'm also creating my own RPGs. So let's say for fantasy, I have something called Mystic Warriors RPG, currently at 164 pages. The reason why it's not out yet is I'm really trying to focus on a unique way of combat that I like to do combat with. And I'll link up a video right now so you can watch the way I think of combat. I'll put that in the screen right now so you can watch that video. But with this system, I want to make a sci-fi version as well, RPG. And with the Galactic News Network, I want to say this before I forget, I want to create like headlines where there's custom art that I made, new art, new rule amendments or new rules, new tables, new NPCs, new background, new planets, new ships, new weapons, new tables, new everything, like new traits, new abilities, where if you purchase a Galactic News Network headline, so I'll create a headline, let's say the headline will be new trade routes opened in the XYZ system. Whatever you want to put in this is what it means by XYZ. Whatever the name you want to put, I put a name there, and I create like a 12-page, let's say 12-page PDF where you can run it hopefully solo. I'm going to try my best to make everything soloable, and group. And it's kind of like these quick modules. And I generated them by using the Galactic News Network. Now that's for my end. For your end, if you're playing solo or in a group, this is also for you. There's a lot of pages on the Galactic News Network. So there's daily news feeds at regular intervals, daily, weekly, or significant events. The player receives a news feed, you basically rolling on it. So that'll be something like this. So here's some examples of those. But here we go. One moment, see the artwork. So here, this is how it'll work. Okay, Galactic News Network headline generator. So you roll. I don't have dice with me right now, so I'll just pick a number. 13, environmental disaster. So there's the news network. Imagine a news network, or your GM is one, or you are one. You're just writing on your notes that I have here for the block of Galactic News Network. So you start out with, you just write environmental disaster. That's the event. Location, I don't know, 10, the nebula sector. If you don't like any of these words here or something here, you could just change. I don't have a Delta Prime, Moses. Hey, just scratch it out and put something else. Make your own table. But the process is what's beneficial here. The names here might not fit your setting or your game system. Change them. It's okay. I don't mind. That's why I made a lot of them generic, like on an ice planet, on a mining colony, on an ocean planet. That came from Interstellar, the idea. On a desert planet. If you don't like them, change them. But the process is what you should follow. So the location, what did I say? The nebula sector. So I have environmental disaster, 13, in the nebula sector. And then the detail is, let's say 8, disrupts trade. So there's your headline. Boom. Then you're off. And here's some example headlines here. Okay. So then with that, then here's some various tables to help you further there's a lot of them to help you further on your gameplay. But let me show you something cool. So that was a daily news feed. Then you can go to investigative missions. So you can make it into like a mission. So you got that idea, let's say, but let's use this one. New trade routes opened in the XYZ system. Okay, the mission that you created from that, you can do random tables. You can roll in the verb and noun tables to figure out a mission, but escort a convoy through a new trade route. The GM could think of this, or you could randomly think of this. Okay, the outcome, successful escort improves trade relations and open new market opportunities. Okay, that's simple as that. That's 2. That's something else you could do. Now 3, you could use influence points. Now there's no set amount of like, if you do this, you get like 5 influence points. No, it's just something generic I created to where if you do something, you get influence points of, if you successfully did something, you get influence points or negative influence points. I never thought of that. Helping with that headline you just did. So if it's like whatever the headline was, you succeeded in that mission. Now you have influence points with that type of, like a political coup is taking over the government. You helped a political coup. Now that's a good example to show you. So gain favors, stuff like that. So the long-term consequences. So I just said political coup. Let's see. Yeah, see political stability. Successfully thwarting a coup can stabilize a region, while failure might lead to ongoing conflicts. Things like that. And then it gets even further. So if you want to go even further, as a GM or as a solo player, you can create your own choices. Okay, so every headline has something. Either you ignore it, Or you help see rebellion erupts on colony at planet X12. So you can change planet, whatever name you want. Okay? So you think to yourself, there's multiple choices that can happen. One could be you do nothing. Okay? But these are the 3 choices I chose. So support the rebels, support the government, or mediate peace talks. And each one has a possible outcome. Okay, so let's say if you support the rebels. The mission, supply weapons and resources to the rebels. Possible outcome, successful support can lead to new allied government. That's influence points with this new ally government of rebels, but risks retaliation from a former regime. So it could be negative influence points, or now you have like assassins after you because you helped the rebels, or they use the news media basically giving you a bad light that you're an enemy of the state, and now even the citizens are against you. You keep going like that. So support the government, mediate peace talks. You could read that, pause and read about that. So those type of things. So there's my idea for that. So like I said, I'm gonna try my best to create small PDFs that will be for sale on drive-thru on my shop, on my profile page, of like a news headline. I made it up using these tables, and I created some artwork for it and created different tables, things that aren't included with this. Now you need this to play that news headline, but it will be like a supplement to this supplement. And then hopefully using it to play my RPG system in the future, my sci-fi version of a role-playing game. So that's a quick run through of this supplement. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope many of you asked for it. So I hope I provided a quality product here. It definitely seems like a lot of people loved the fantasy version, and that's going to be platinum pretty soon here, it looks like. Platinum bestseller. So I hope I did an awesome job with this. If I didn't, let me know. If there's something like, Moses, you should have added this, or I don't really like this. It's okay. It's all right. Tell me. It's version 1.0. Well, I'll keep it going. I'll keep fixing it. All right? I don't mind. Any feedback's good feedback. Okay? So I'm here. I'm waiting. And that's about it. So happy gaming, everybody. Bye.